This is the Sittingbourne Steam Railway podcast. Hello and welcome to the Sittingbourne Steam Railway podcast. My name's Paul Best and I'm the Railway's press officer and your host for this podcast. This month we will be looking at the operation of the railway during the virtual journey to Kemsley Down. On arrival, we will have the latest news and an update from the works weekends. On the return trip, we will look at what's happening at the railway in April and May. In Onward Connections, I will tell you about the other steam railways in Kent. Let's board the train now. The railway is now gearing up for the start of the 2017 season, but how do we do that? As you'll hear when we get to Kemsley Down, the steam locomotives are now being prepared for the season. We have trains timetabled to run on 39 days between Easter and the end of September, so our 3 steam locomotives will be rostered to work particular weekends to enable maintenance to be carried out during the season. It's amazing how quickly the mileage racks up. Take Easter weekend. Amelia will be hauling 6 passenger trains a day over roughly 4 miles per round trip for 4 days, which comes to about 96 miles in just 4 days. We are planning to run 3 steam locomotives again this year. They are Leader, Amelia and Superb. Next month we will look at the locos in more depth, so stick with me. For simplicity, let's think of them as Leader is the small red engine, Amelia the small green engine and Superb the big green engine. Both Leader and Amelia have load restrictions on them due to the incline at Sittingbourne Viaduct station. Another restriction is that of weight distribution. No 2 steam locomotives can operate together over Milton Regis Viaduct. This is most important during the end of season gala weekend when we run double-headed trains to Sittingbourne Viaduct, because what we actually do is run double-headed train from Kemsley Down to Milton Regis Asda Hall, where the lead loco is detached and runs on its own to Sittingbourne Viaduct station. Running an engine on its own is called a light engine movement. The station master at Sittingbourne Viaduct will phone the driver of the train when the engine has arrived and is clear of the main line. Then the train proceeds over the viaduct. Sometimes we do, however, operate a top and tail train which has an engine at each end. This would be allowed over the viaduct because the weight is distributed across several spans or bridges. The carriage and wagon team have been carrying out checks and maintenance to ensure that the passenger coaches are ready for operation. We have 2 rakes of coaches that we typically use during the season, the Bowwaters rake and the Chattenden and Upnor Railway set. The Bowwaters coaches are native to the line and were originally operated on the railway to carry staff to work. In the railway's heyday during the 1950s, a 24-hour passenger and freight train service was operated between Sittingbourne and Kemsley Paper Mills and Riddham Dock. Interestingly, due to the operation of the staff trains, doors were only provided at the end of the vehicle on only one side because the platform was always on that side. When the current railway was set up, the platform at Sittingbourne Viaduct station was built on the opposite side, so the coaches have been adapted as they have been rebuilt to include doors on both sides. Based on wagon underframes, the coaches are easily identifiable as they have long windows on the sides with doors at the end of the vehicles, except for the bar car, which has central doors which can be opened to allow wheelchair accessibility. There are tourist coaches too, an open coach which has no roof and a semi-open coach which has a roof but only end windows, leaving openings on the sides. The Chattenden and Upnor Railway coaches came to the railway in the 1980s and originate from the former military line between Chattenden Camp and Upnor Royal Naval Armaments Depot. It was operated by the Admiralty, later the Royal Navy, from as early as 1877 until 1961, when the railway closed. The coaches then went to the Welshport and Llanfair Light Railway before coming to us, but I'll go into that in more detail in a future podcast. These coaches were originally of toast rack style. They had full width rows of seats with no doors, just gaps. These afforded no protection from the elements and were also not very safe for the carrying of the general public, so the Welshport fitted doors with proper carriage handles. If you look at some of them, you can still see the letters GWR stamped into the handle, as they would have come from previous Great Western Railway coaches. They also have wooden running boards or long footsteps along the length of the coach to allow easy access from the trackside rather than a level access platform. These coaches are now only used for special events such as Art in the Park and Gala Weekend. 2 are semi-open coaches with half-height doors but no windows, and 2 were fully closed coaches with drop-light windows. One coach was withdrawn from service several years ago and has been stripped down, but its reconstruction has been delayed by lack of volunteers to rebuild it. So now we have the trains, what about the track? Our permanent way team, usually shortened to P-Way or Track Gang, carry out regular maintenance on the line on Wednesdays and Sundays all year round, rain or shine. The line is about 2 miles long with 4 sets of points at Sittingbourne Viaduct and 11 points at Kemsley Down to maintain. Points are also known as switches, as this is how the trains change tracks. There's no mainline style continuously welded track here. Our rails come in fixed lengths and are connected together with fish plates and bolts. All these joints have to be greased. We also have wooden sleepers, which are a mixture of hardwood and jarrah, the latter being extremely hard-wearing wooden sleepers that are still in use from Bowalter's days. Originally, the track was held in place using ash from the paper mill power station. This was used in the formation of a lot of the railway's sites, but is not the best material, but was, of course, readily available. We now use stone ballast similar to the big railway, although not as coarse. This allows the water to permeate rather than to soak in, so the hardwood sleepers should last longer than when they were surrounded by ash. On the signalling front, we have a starter signal at the platform at Sittingbourne Viaduct station, and a home signal protecting the entrance to the station. Both are mechanical semaphore signals consisting of a pivoting rectangular arm on a white post. At one end of the arm are lenses which are illuminated from behind to show red for danger or green for proceed. The signal arm is painted red with a white vertical stripe near the end on the side facing the direction of travel, and white with a black vertical stripe on the reverse. The line between both stations is single, so an essential piece of safety equipment is the token. There's only one, and the driver of the train on the single line must be in possession of it. It is a wire ring encased in leather with a pouch for the gate keys. So, if the starter signal at Sittingbourne Viaduct is raised and indicating green, which is also known as off, the driver has the token and is given the hand signal to depart by the guard. The train may depart onto Milton Regis Viaduct. The station area, known as limits, extend onto the viaduct to enable engines to run round trains, or move trains between platform or sidings without entering the single line. As the train approaches Kemsley Down, there is another signal, known as a home signal, which authorises the driver to pass the Do Not Proceed Without Permission board just before the station limits. If the signal is off, the driver knows he is safe to run into platform 1. There is a similar starter signal at Kemsley Down, which is applicable to both platforms and all the other lines for trains to enter the single line back to Sittingbourne Viaduct. The home signal at Sittingbourne Viaduct is quite quirky because it sits sideways onto the track, as it indicates to drivers approaching the station across Milton Regis Viaduct. Some station masters collect the token from the driver as he approaches Kemsley Down. By standing alongside the track with his arm in the air, the driver holds the token out at the side of the engine. As it is exchanged, the station master takes hold of the token and swings it onto his shoulder. Invariably, this is because we are running a 2-train service with a short interval between an arrival and a departure. We have other signals too, called shunt signals, which are almost round white discs with a horizontal red stripe to indicate danger or stop. When activated, it rotates 45 degrees to diagonal. This allows the driver to proceed, but be prepared to stop short of an obstruction. These too have coloured lenses for use in the dark. We don't have any signal boxes on the railway, so the station master controls the signals. At Kemsley Down, we also have a shop and the footplate cafe, which have to be manned, and ideally the museum model railway and garden railway would be operated by someone. So, if you add all these people together required to run the railway safely, we need at least 13 volunteers. That's the driver, fireman, guard, ticket inspector, station master and assistant station master at each end, ticket office clerk, sales assistant, kitchen staff, usually at least 2, and a designated person in charge of the railway. And that's how we operate the railway. Next month we'll look at some of the steam locomotives.
Welcome to Kemsley Down, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, all change please. Please leave the platform by the ramp and foot crossing at the rear of the track.
Attention please, here is a special announcement. Season starts. The Wheels of Time Wild Host Training. The season starts this month on Good Friday the 14th of April, with Melia operating trains on all 4 days of the weekend. We don't operate a reservation system during the season. This enables us to offer a first come first served system, so we don't have to turn people away unless trains are too busy. It is recommended that you arrive at least 15 minutes before the train is due to depart to ensure that you have time to buy your tickets and board the train. If possible, we may hold trains for latecomers or if there is a long queue, but we try to run the trains on time for the convenience of all passengers. The railway is the first to join the Wheels of Time initiative, which involves 25 museums across Kent, 5 of which are in Sittingbourne and Milton Regis. The aim is to encourage children aged 5 to 11 to visit and learn at as many of the 25 museums as they can in a year. At each location they will be given a form to complete, upon which they will receive a badge which they attach to their lanyard to show the museums they have already visited. We suggest allowing 2 hours for your visit, as you will receive an activity form at Sittingbourne Viaduct which needs to be completed and returned to the shop at Kemsley Down. We will look at the Wheels of Time in more detail in next month's podcast, or visit the railway shop or wheelsoftime.uk. Congratulations to those who attended and passed the World Host training at Kemsley Down on the 11th of March. Sally from Visit Kent taught us how to use World Host customer service skills. Barry and I manned our information stand at the Holiday and Leisure Show the following day and used our new skills on the 200 people we interacted with at the event. Milton Regis Viaduct has reopened following the repairs to the damaged Skew Bridge. This work cost the railway £20,000, so we will have to work hard to recover these costs ahead of next winter's scheduled maintenance, which also costs £20,000. The completion of works allows us to reopen on Good Friday as planned. There has been a fair amount of work being carried out around Kemsley Down in preparation for the reopening. Exhibits are being put back on display in the museum, a new gate has been installed alongside the Garden Railway, track work carried out on both the main line and the 5-inch gauge ride-on railway, and locomotives have been checked by the boiler inspector. Of the 3 operational locomotives, Melia and Superb have passed inspection, but Leader requires some additional work, so will be out of action until at least June. We've got one last work weekend on the 8th and 9th of April. On the Saturday we'll be working at Sittingbourne Viaduct station. We will be there from 10 AM until about 4 PM, making the station look as good as possible. Lunch will not be provided as there are plenty of food outlets close by. On Sunday there will be a works train departing Sittingbourne Viaduct at 10 AM and returning at about 4 PM. because the location of the work will be at Kemsley Down. Lunch will be provided on this day. And so it begins. The 2017 season kicks off on Good Friday the 14th of April with trains departing Sittingbourne Viaduct station hourly from 11 AM until 4 PM. There will be an opportunity to plant a flower in a pot and take home with you for free on Good Friday. Easter Saturday sees trains depart Sittingbourne Viaduct hourly 11 AM to 4 PM. This is our surrogate Kent Big Weekend day. So tickets that were won as part of the Kent Big Weekend will be valid for this day only. Every year, the first weekend in April is Kent Big Weekend, and tourist attractions across the county allocate a number of free tickets to the big prize draw. As we were closed on that weekend, we have nominated Easter Saturday as our Kent Big Weekend day instead. Easter Sunday brings Easter fun at Kemsley Down with an Easter egg hunt. Trains will depart Sittingbourne Viaduct hourly 11 AM until 4 PM. Our 4 days of steam draw to a close on Easter Monday, when trains depart Sittingbourne Viaduct, you've guessed it, hourly 11 AM until 4 PM. The following Sunday, 23rd of April, trains will depart Sittingbourne Viaduct hourly 1 till 4 PM. This is our normal Sunday's timetable, but April and May is far from normal, so we have another bank holiday and another event. Jack the Station Cat returns to the railway on Sunday the 30th of April and Monday the 1st of May. Trains will depart Sittingbourne Viaduct hourly 11 AM until 4 PM on both days. There will be a mouse hunt at Kemsley Down, and on the Monday there will be readings of the stories by one of the illustrators of the books. Also, the new book will be launched at Kemsley Down on the Monday. The Jack the Station Cat series of books are aimed at 3 to 9-year-olds. And follow the adventures of Jack the Station Cat. Written by Alan Cliff, there are now 15 books in the series. Priced at £2.95 each, they are an affordable collection of great stories that are colourfully illustrated. Our railway has appeared in Jack the Station Cat and the August Day, and Jack the Station Cat and the Tales End Ticket. In fact, for this event, Sittingbourne Viaduct Station is renamed Tales End, and Kemsley Down becomes much purring. The following 3 weekends are normal Sundays, with trains departing Sittingbourne Viaduct Station hourly 1 till 4 PM on the 7th, 14th and 21st of May. Then we have another bank holiday weekend. Sunday the 28th will be our Teddy Bears Picnic. Children with a teddy bear and pay an adult will travel free. Bring a picnic or buy one at Kemsley Down. Trains will depart Sittingbourne Viaduct station hourly 11 AM until 4 PM on Sunday and Monday, although there is not a special event on the Monday, just an opportunity to enjoy the extended service and hopefully the weather. Although a round trip can be achieved in under an hour, it is recommended that you spare at least 2 hours for your visit, particularly on special event days or if you are participating in the Wheels of Time activity. Return fares for 2017 are £7 for adults, £3 for children aged 3 to 15, £5 for concessions, and a family ticket valid for 2 adults and up to 4 children costs £19. Single and Rover fares are available. Well, that's it, we're back at Sittingbourne Viaduct station now. A light here for Onward connections. This month we are going to look at other railways in Kent. First up is our closest neighbour, the Bredgar and Worms Hill Light Railway, another narrow gauge railway but this time 2-foot gauge. It only opens once a month, but it could easily tie in with a visit to Sittingbourne Steam Railway as it is only a few miles away. The first opening day is Easter Sunday, 16th of April, then the first Sunday of the month until October and a final day on 29th of October. Their trains run from 11 AM until 4:30 PM and run through some beautiful countryside on the North Downs. The fares for 2017 are £10 for adults, £4 for children aged 4 to 15, under 4s are free, and a family ticket is available for £25 and includes 2 adults and up to 3 children. The web address is www.bwlr.co.uk. Next is the East Kent Railway. Based in the former Kent coalfield, the line connects the pretty villages of Shepherdswell and Aythorne through the steep chalk line cuttings and the tunnel. This is a 2-mile long standard gauge railway with woodland walks, miniature and model railways and cafes that are open Tuesdays to Sundays. Trains operate on Sundays from April until the first Sunday in October, with special events throughout the season. Fares are £6 for adults, £3 for children aged 2 to 15, under 2s travel free, £5 for senior citizens, and the family fare is £15 for 2 adults and up to 2 children. On some special event days, a first class supplement of £1 may be available. The fares are Rover tickets and valid all day. For more information, visit www.eastkentrailway.co.uk, particularly as some days the fares are just £1. The Kent and East Sussex Railway is a standard gauge railway that steams through the beautiful rural countryside between Tenterden and Bodiam, some 10 miles apart. Trains run from April to the end of October on weekends and many weekdays. There are lots of special events throughout the season. Fares here are also Rover tickets called travel cards and allow you to get off a train at an intermediate station and resume your journey on a following train. It is cheaper to book at the fares online, where adults cost £16.20, children aged 3 to 15 at £10.80, family tickets for 2 adults and up to 3 children, or 1 adult and up to 4 children at £34.20, dogs are £2.70. Turn up on the day fares are £18 for adults, £12 for children, £38 for families and £3 for dogs. Special fares may apply during events. For more information, visit www.kesr.org.uk. The Romney Hive and Dymchurch Railway is celebrating its 90th anniversary this year. It is a miniature main line with trains that are 1/3 of standard gauge size, travelling over a line that is a massive 13.5 miles in length. It is a fascinating railway with 7 stations between Hythe near Folkestone and Dungeness on the seafront, right by the lighthouse. This big little railway runs daily until the end of October, then weekends in November. There are various special events throughout the year too. There are various fares available from single and return to the Romney Rover, which enables you to catch as many trains as you want to all the stations on the line. It gives you free entry to the Model Railway exhibition at Romney Sands, which usually costs £2.20 for adults and £1.10 for children. The Romney Rover costs £18 for adults, £16 for concessions and £9 for children aged 3 to 15. The website is www.rhdr.org.uk. Last but not least is the Spa Valley Railway between Tunbridge Wells West and Erridge. This is a standard gauge railway that almost connects the Uckfield line at Erridge to the Hastings line at Tunbridge Wells. There is a short section of the line missing. Trains run every weekend from February until the end of October, with additional days and special events throughout the year. The railway passes through the High World and is a destination at every station. They are celebrating their 20th anniversary as a heritage railway this year. There is an extensive fare structure to cater for all journey opportunities. An adult return between Tunbridge Wells West and Erridge costs £12 for adults, £6 for children and £11 for senior citizens aged over 60. There are also fares that include the entrance fee to Groombridge Place Gardens. It is advisable to book your fares online, as trains can be sold out before the day of operation. For more information, visit www.sparvalleyrailway.co.uk. And that's it for this month's podcast. Thanks very much for listening. Hope you've enjoyed it. Please send any feedback to info@sklr.net, and I look forward to speaking to you next month. Sittingbourne Steam Railway podcast was written, narrated and produced by me, Paul Best. I would like to thank all the members and passengers at the Sittingbourne Kemsley Light Railway and my many subscribers for their continued support. Special thanks to Joshua Chapman, John Fuller, Mike Fuller, Bill Kemsley, Tim Embleton, Keith Pearce and Mike Float for their help on the real world sound